Believe it or not, it's been 25 years since Harry Potter came out. This is one of the extremely rare, true first editions. But I have another copy that I just might like better. It came out about a year later, but this copy made it to the set when they're filming the first movie. And it is signed by Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson. And nobody knows who they are before the movie comes out, so they put their character names. Daniel Radcliffe puts Harry, Rupert Grint puts Ron, and Emma Watson puts Hermione. So, if you could only have one of these copies, which would it be? The very first copy, a true first edition, or a copy signed by Harry, Ron, and Hermione? Let me know in the comments.
You've read this before.
About 40 times.
I thought you said you didn't read much.
Well, what is much?
How did you know I was reading Moby Dick?
I've noticed you.
What book is it?
Menken's Chrestomathy?
Oh, that one.
Here.
Aha, you liked it. Lane, Dean likes Jane Austen.
You come out and you sit under that tree there and you read. Last week, it was Madame Bovary.
You got Dean a book?
Yeah, Metamorphosis.
I think maybe Tolstoy's just a little over my head.
No, that's not true. Tolstoy wrote for the masses.
And she's reading again. A novel.
Novelas juveniles que no me canso de recomendar, ideales para jóvenes entre 15 y 18 años, especialmente si quieren engancharse con la lectura, aunque sinceramente yo me las leía a mis veintitantos y las amé. Una herencia en juego. Un día Avery es una joven normal y trabajadora. Al día siguiente, y sin ninguna explicación, le avisan que es la única heredera del excéntrico millonario Tobias Hawthorne, herencia que obtendrá si logra vivir un año en su gigantesca mansión, con la furiosa familia que ha quedado fuera del testamento. Esta novela es mega rápida de leer. Enganchas del primer capítulo. Si te gustan las intrigas y los acertijos, es perfecta para ti. Al final mueren los dos. Mateo y Rufus viven en un mundo donde existe muerte súbita. Un sistema que avisa a las personas que ese día van a morir, que solo tienen 24 horas para cumplir sus sueños y despedirse. Mateo y Rufus son muy jóvenes para que muerte súbita los llame. ¿O no? Esta novela tiene una gran premisa, no la vas a poder soltar. Es entretenida y deja un gran mensaje sobre aprovechar la vida. Lloré a mares con el final. Alguien está mintiendo. 5 estudiantes del Instituto Bayview son llamados a detención, pero solo 4 saldrán con vida. ¿Crees que puedes descubrir al asesino? Este libro tiene todo lo que necesita un buen misterio. Trama atrapante, personajes complejos y sorpresas todos los capítulos. Tiene una gran ejecución, a mi gusto, un final un poco decepcionante. Tendrás que leerlo para juzgarlo. ¿Te leíste alguno de estos libros? ¿Cuál te tincó más?
Differences between the Harry Potter books and movies that just don't make sense.
Okay, I think literally anyone who has read the books and then watched the movies will agree that this is one of the most aggravating differences between the books and the movie adaptations. And like, honestly, if you don't have problems with it, I have questions. And it is none other than how Voldemort dies. I already know some of y'all are mad, so let's talk about it. Okay, so in the book, he's just dead. He falls, body to the ground, dead. It says Tom Riddle hit the floor with a mundane finality, his body feeble and shrunken, the white hands empty, the snake-like face vacant and unknowing. Voldemort was dead. They even move his body to a different chamber away from those who fought and died in the Battle of Hogwarts. There is a body left over from Voldemort's death that they have to move. And that's significant. Meanwhile, in the movies, they have him disappear like paper or ash into the air. It makes literally no sense, like whatsoever. The reason Voldemort needed to die like a mundane, normal human was because that was the only way they would know that he was for sure gone and never coming back. The reason people thought Voldemort would return at the beginning of the series, which he did end up doing, was because there was no body left over after he attacked the Potters. But now, if we go by the book's version, there is a body. They can look and see he's dead and he's not coming back. Because now, if we go by the movie version, he's literally vanished into thin air. Like, how is there any closure in that? I get that maybe visually it was more appealing, whatever, I don't really care. It doesn't make sense to the story. The wizarding world needed to know that he was dead, and more than that, he was nothing more than just a man. He's not this great entity, he's not this all-knowing, all-powerful force. He's a man. That is the finality that we get with the book, and that is why Harry and his friends can move on from this and grow from this and heal from this and know that all is well. I remember being so mad the first time I saw that, and To this day, I am still furious.
Can you do one with only 5 chili spices? I never used to read spicy books. I've gone from like 0 to 100. I want all the trigger warnings. I want all the semen. I want dicks. I want balls. I want vaginas. Give me everything because I'm a lady. Once you start reading spicy books, you really just don't go back. And I feel like if you do, you're not doing it right. Class is now in session. First up, it's got to be Sabotage, The Ritual and the Sacrifice by Chantal Tessier. These books are fuck off spicy, like ridiculous spicy. Definitely check content warnings before going into them, but you know what? The more trigger warnings, the better. These books are cooked, they're fucked, but they are so fucking good. Always forced proximity, possessive, obsessive MMCs, which we love. I have got to include The Four Leaf, written by Lee Jacquot and narrated by Vio Eros and Jacqueline Kelso. I listened to this on audiobook and I'm so fucking happy I did. This is a short novella. The voice actors smashed it out of the park. If you have not listened to Vio Eros before, I don't even know what you're doing. Go away, listen to him, and then come back and talk to me. His voice is like butter. And Jacqueline Kelso, tell you what, her voice, it's better than mine. It's childhood friends to lovers. There's tension, there's angst. Adrian's primal, there's aftercare. Oh, it's so good. Just listen to it. It'll be the best 3 hours of your life. Dark Notes by Pam Godwin, another dark romance. Definitely check your content warnings before going into this. We've got a lot of BDSM happening here. This is a student-teacher romance, so it's forbidden, which we love. It's wrong. It's wrong. But once you get past it, you're all right. The story in this book was fucking harrowing. But the spice, Emmerich Marceau was a piano teacher, and I would let him stick his hand in me and wear me like a glove because fuck me, so good. I just finished reading For the Fans by Nyla Kay. Holy fucking shit. This is an college football romance. There's sexual awakening happening here. They're stepbrothers and they desperately need to come across money fast. How are they going to do it? They start an OnlyFans together. It is spicy, it's beautiful, it's touching, it's erotic. This is actually my first romance and it certainly will not be my last. There's just dicks and balls fucking everywhere. It's incredible. It's so good. Praised by Sarah Kate, classic. This is the first book in the Salacious Players Club. This is Dom sub, age gap, ex-boyfriend's dad. Could you imagine? Ugh, I fucking couldn't. I just couldn't. But this is incredible. I love it so much. So much sex positivity as well. It's amazing. I love it. I highly recommend it. I devoured this book. That One Night, Pucking Around and Pucking Ever After by Emily Rath. This is a Why Choose Hockey romance series. That One Night is a prequel novella. You don't have to read it, but I recommend that you do. It's a short read. It's spicy and it's so much fun. Pucking Around is 700 pages. You will fly through it. It's mostly erotica, but it's fabulous. There's incredible banter. And Pucking Ever After is a short Why Choose novella that follows on from Pucking Around. I love these. Emily Rath has done the most amazing job. They are the spiciest books I've ever fucking read. All the M's, all the F's, all the D's, all the V's, everywhere. So good. Just mouths and holes just fucking everywhere. And it's incredible. Emily's written every chapter in a different character's point of view and she's done it so well. I love it so much. Let me know if you guys have read any of these books and if you have, what did you think of them? If you decide to pick any of these up, I hope you enjoy them and happy reading.
This, you see this? Okay, this is how much I've read. This is how much I have left. You see this? You see this right here? I'm gonna, don't read it. Don't spoil it for yourself, but I just screamed out loud.
Here are some short, fast-paced books that are easy to read to help you reach your reading goal. A psychological mind-bender about a married couple who get a visit from a strange man with some interesting news. A family vacation turns into a nightmare. This is super dark and twisty. It'll have your heart pumping for sure. New parents attending a dinner party realize their baby has been kidnapped and no one can be trusted. A woman is hired as a maid for a very wealthy couple and everything spirals out of control. An epidemic where people randomly fall into a dream-filled sleep and no one can wake them. 5 creepy short stories, including a cat POV, supernatural monsters, and so much more.
What are my top 5 spicy must reads? Putting me in a position where I can only choose 5 of my spicy book recommendations. It's like going up and down. It's like my mental health. I'm gonna need a wine, hold on. This glass is like almost the size of my head, but it's necessary. Some of these recommendations are series. I'm going to count series as 1 because this is my house and I'll do what I want. First up, we've got The Dare and Losers by Harley LaRue. I opened these up and it was like a kick to the clit. I couldn't believe it. I was so satisfied. There was basically, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is there was a lot of dick in here and it's one of my favorite things to read about. So I didn't think it was that dark. Is it a dark romance? I don't know, but it's kinky as fuck. I had a really hard time accessing a physical copy of The Dare, so I listened to it on Audible and Jacqueline Kelso narrated it and oh my fucking God, so good, so good. She did all of the characters and she just took my breath away. This is Why I Choose. It's a group of losers who fall for their bully and the bully kind of just has to accept who she is. I was never really one to think that cars were sexy, but after reading this, I can tell you right now, my engine was purring. Yes, I'm referring to my vagina. We've got Haunting and Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. These books were my introduction to dark romance, and this is when I realised a lot of things about myself that I didn't know existed previously. A, I'm rather fucked up. B, I'm not mad about it. C, I need a house of mirrors. D, Zaid Meadows can stalk me any fucking day of the week. These books were fast-paced, action-packed, couldn't put them down, loved them. They're really emotional. Please check content warnings before going into them. There were parts in this book that just made me bawl my eyes out. I absolutely loved all the characters in these books, and I just couldn't put them down once I started them. I love these books so much that I listened to the audiobook, and I've read these books 4 times. That's how much I love them. So I highly recommend. They're definitely my favourite. Next up, we've got The Words by Ashley Jade. Oh my God, I loved this book so much. The FMC's curvy, and she's so intelligent. She can write the fuck out of a song. And the MMC's a famous rock star. There's so much tension. There's so much angst. Opposites attract. The spice in this book is like the best chicken tikka masala you will ever have in your life. My friend gave me this book because her friend is on the cover, and the cover model signed it for me. He's like, "Dear Teeny, thanks for enjoying the words. Tommy, thanks so much, Tommy, but you didn't write the words. You just had to sit and look pretty for a picture, but I appreciate it all the same." This also has enemies to lovers. There is something to be said about a musician. I don't know what it is. If you figure it out, please let me know. I feel like you have to read the words. It's the rules. You have to. If you haven't, I can guarantee you're going to absolutely love it. For the Fans by Nyla Kay. I read this on Kindle. This was my very first MM romance, and it will not be my last. I absolutely fell in love with it. This book is Step Brothers, Forced Proximity. It's a college romance and a sports romance as well. You've got a bi awakening. There are some really dark themes to this book, so please check content warnings before going into it. This book just had me feeling a lot of feelings. I bawled my eyes out, couldn't put it down. I absolutely fell head over heels in love with the main characters. This book just hands down made me want to be a gay man. I was like, can I join in? These spicy scenes hit so different. If you haven't read MM, you have got to start with this. It's so fucking good. Oh my God. I feel like I'm getting butterflies in my vagina. 5 stars. You go, Glen Coco. The Queen of Monsters series by J.T. Geisinger. I have absolutely fallen head over heels in love with J.T. Geisinger. Her books have a common theme of spanking, which I, for one, certainly am not mad about. The Queen of Monsters series is a mafia series. So you've got the Irish mafia, the Russian mafia, and the Italian mafia. Each book is based on like a different head of the mafias. And oh my God, they are seriously addictive, super spicy, hilarious. J.T. Geisinger writes some of the best banter I've ever read. My favourite book out of all of them absolutely has to be Carnal Urges, which is book 2. The Irish Mafia, I feel like I'm going to jump on a plane and move there. I am. I think I might. This book had me craving leprechaun dick like you wouldn't fucking believe. The Luck of the Irish, I think they're right. I love these books so much that I just read one after the other in the series, gobbled that shit up. Highly recommend it. Absolutely loved them. Let me know if you've read any of these books. If you have, what did you think of them? If you decide to pick any of these up, I hope you enjoy them, and happy reading. Your body speaks to me.